Okay, Sunday, November 9, 2025. I was up here doing some work and got caught by the rain. Now tomorrow we're supposed to get an inch or two of snow, and I won't be up here due to the fact that I have to be in Charleston tomorrow. So, but hey, look. All that big bunch of wood is gone. It's out front now. I've got me a little pile of wood here that's going to keep me through a couple of days of fire. I took the big cap rock off the top because I don't have it elevated enough to let all the smoke out. Now I'm still smoking a little bit in here, which I got to take care of. I got a little here, and I got to finish mudding here. But for the most part, it's all outside. So we'll get that done. I stretched the tarp tight because of the snow coming in. I was getting ready to go down and cut more boards, but that didn't work. So I'm glad I didn't even open up the tent for any tools. Now, I scared something up this morning. Don't know what it was. It was up on the hill. Bear, deer, something. So anyways, yeah. But no, we're just kind of hanging out. I've got everything looking really good. I mean, I've got all my stuff that was outside, inside. So yeah, we're cleaning it up. I'm going to take, since I'm just standing here doing nothing, I'm going to go ahead and all the chinking that I have left in here from the other day, I'm going to run out to the tent, go grab that screwdriver, and I'm going to start chinking with what I got. There ain't a lot here, but I can kind of finish off over on that wall. What I want to do is I want to get up here on top. I stopped right over there, and I've got a little bit more to go up on here, then the little holes, and start with the boards, and then go down, fill up that hole up in there, right along the boards, fill up in there along the boards. I got to come over here. I'm not going to put my plug in just yet up there, but I'll fill in all the little holes right there, fill all that in, fill along the board, fill the rest of these up, and I want to get around, start getting around the door. I'm not worried too much about that right there, or this right here, except for around the door. I want to start getting that all chinked in. I think I got enough chinking for that. So anyways, all that wood I had in here, la-di-da, is now out front. And I got 2 stacks going. So I got it all covered up because it's going to be inclement for the next day or so. And yeah. So basically I got the fireplace done the other day. That's why I wasn't on the videos too much. Yesterday I was up here and I mostly did hunting. Didn't see much of nothing because they kind of knew this weather was coming in. There's nothing out running around today, except for it was early this morning. Now I did put out another 100 pounds of deer corn. I put 50 pounds that way, 50 pounds that way. So, and something been in both piles. So I'm good. They'll be fine. Snow tomorrow, and a couple of days after that, we may see a little shot of snow here and there. In the meantime, even though it's snowing, I'm going to go down and cut what trees I got down there, which is, let's see if I can show you, down that way, down towards the creek. I'm going to cut the ones that I got down there. And then I'm going to cut, I got a couple that are over here on the way up. I got a couple of those. Plus, I got a bunch of logs that I need to get up here. This morning, I spent a good portion of the day. This morning, I had a big old pile of logs out here. I don't know if you can see that. But I was splitting logs this morning, trying to get that all tied up. Now, I've got a couple other... let's see. Maybe we can do it easier this way. How about we do that? Come on, open up. Okay. So, I had a big pile of wood there. And I've been busting that up. Now, I've got these logs right here. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to put those around back. I got to do a little bit of shovel work. Today may be that day for that. Kind of flatten that out back there and shovel wood down to the bottom of over here. Kind of close that all off. I'm going to put a log in there, and then I'm going to start stacking firewood out back. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now, in the meantime, let's close the door back up. At least kind of close it, so it doesn't open up back again. I'll lock it before I leave. I did bring the four-wheeler up today. Mary's using my truck. But, yeah, it's going. I don't think it's going to rain much anymore. But I was looking just a little bit ago, and it was black over on the ridge top. And what it's doing is it's starting to cool down. Getting ready for that shot of snow tomorrow, because tomorrow's high is going to be 44. And like I said, I got to go to Charleston tomorrow, which is no big deal. I'll take my truck down there and go talk to the doctor. Doctor's sitting there saying that what we're going to discuss is, right now I'm wearing hearing aids. I don't wear them up here because the noise of the chainsaw, shooting a rifle, I don't want to blast my eardrums out. So what they're talking about doing is doing a colloquial implant to where it will help my hearing out a little bit. So I won't have to use hearing aids, because I only use them part of the time, only when I'm down at the house, which is not a lot. And it's hard to hear the disturbances in the forest, not the force. Like, you can hear when the squirrels are out jumping around, they sound like a herd of elephants, and then all of a sudden you hear this, and it'll stop. And then you hear, and that's a deer. And if you hear something that's very, very heavy, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a bear, but turkeys sound like that too. So they've both got very distinct ways of walking. So anywho's and anyways, looks like the rain is a slowing down. I don't know how much more it's going to snow. Maybe this would be almost the right time to get out of here, but I'm going to wait. I've got some other stuff I'm going to do. I may end up doing the rest of this chinking in here, as I've got to put this roof together. It's not a lot. I just, with what trees I've already got down, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 down here, maybe 6 that I can split up, and I've got 2 or 3 down here. That's not going to be enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split those all up, bring them up, and use the widest ones I can for the boards. Now this one I got to take off because it's way too wide in here. And I'm going to cut this big knot chunk out of it. And just the way it is, I can slide it over and it won't be so wide. Because I don't want it that wide with the top board going to go onto it. So what I'm going to do is take the widest ones down there and over here. I'm going to put those up on the roof as the main boards. The other ones I'm going to split in half, and I'm going to start locking this all down. I've got to start to where it starts closing this off. Now, I'm not worried about leaving this tarp here for a while. It'll be fine. I've got it tied off really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish, bring in a bunch of wood up here and go all the way to the end of this, right? Then I'm going to put the middle boards down in there. So just in case it does snow, rain, whatever, it'll keep it drier in here. Not completely dry, but drier. And then as I get them going, I'll start peeling this tarp back little by little, putting the boards on there. And then after I get it, I'll do a board, then a middle board, board, then a middle board, board, then a middle board, and just close it off as I go. And if I have to, I could take this tarp and shift it sideways because it's 20 feet long. The cabin is 15 foot on the inside, 17 on the outside. And it's 10 foot wide. And my boards are only 8 foot long. And I only got to cover like 6 feet. So what I can do is I can drape it over the crown, the top of the roof, and let it slide over to where I don't have it quite sucked up enough yet. That's when I get this all done on this one side. But since I'm going to be boop, 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 it'll still cover everything. And when I get it done, the entire roof done up, where it's where everything is covered up and it's not going to rain in here the whole 9 yards, and then all I got left to do is the chinking, I'm going to take the tarp and I will probably, if I don't fold it, I'll probably cut it in half, and I'll use some of this to cover the wood out front. The wood out back will be covered by the roof, because the roof goes down about that far down past this main log, right? And that'll cover up the wood that's going to go out back. So I may just fold this tarp to put over the top of that wood temporarily until I get some more boards and make my little awning for that. But yeah, that will come at a later time. As soon as I get the roof on, then I can run around for an entire day and get bag after bag after bag after bag of chinking. Spend the next day or so up in here putting it all in, right? And then if I need more, I'll go back and get some more. I'll go down and get like 10 bags of chinking, and I'll just dump it right here on the floor where the other one was. I'll just load me up a pile, right? Big old pile, and just grab and start chinking. Chink as much as I can in a day, 2 days. I know that's going to probably be right around the time gun buck season comes in, where I get to shoot my bucks with the gun. Right now it's still archery season, so. But I do have the gun up here because the bears have been very, very active. Like I said the other day, I was way up on the hill, and there's an upper road that's up there. And as I was walking it down, I walked clean from about the middle of the hill over here, in between the two mountains. I walked all the way down and all the way over here to the creek. Now it keeps going. But all along there, all I saw, nothing but big old piles of bear scat. And there was some deer scat too. And it looked like there had been a couple of things laying down there sleeping on the road, because it's nice and flat. So, and the bear scat was pretty fresh. So, I done put my mind to it about the last week or so. I've been bringing the gun up with me because of just the bear. Not really deer or anything, just the bear. We're getting into late fall. They're looking for stuff to eat. Now I do have a little bit of foodstuffs around here. That's basically drinks in there, but I do have foodstuffs out there in the tent. But they are still wrapped up in cellophane, so you can't smell nothing. They're vacuum packed. Everything's vacuum packed. So, but as soon as I get the roof on, without the chinking, as soon as I get the roof on to where I can lock this thing up completely, then I'll move everything from that tent into here. I'll break down the tent, take it down the house, clean it up real quick, put it in the shed, dry it out, and then wrap it up for the year. Because everything will be in here. All my equipment will be under the bed. So, but, yeah. I just got to, in the next couple of weeks, I've got to get hot and heavy on this roof. And once I get the roof done, then everything is look like lightweight stuff. Other than chinking, everything else is like little ends that I got to tie up. I've got to finish mudding out here, but I mean, all I got to do is make up a bucket of mud because I want to do a little bit more in here. I got to sock up the little itty bitty like holes. There's one right around the corner. It's not even in here. But all the little holes that are in here, lock all those up. And if I got extra, I'll come out here and slap it on the outside, close all these up. Once this all dries, in fact, before it dries, when I put the next shot of mud up in here, I'm going to try and pack it all the way tight. And I'm going to take the chinking and push it into the mud, so it'll all look like it's chinked instead of mud. But yeah, so we'll get that all done, start the chinking process. The little lumber pieces and where I'm going to put the extra wood and stuff back behind here on the back side of this, that'll come after the roof. I'm going to do that when I can get to it. Like today it's raining. Wouldn't be a great day to split logs because of, if anybody knows about cutting wet wood, it sucks. And especially if it's oak or maple. Very, very hard wood. Even some of the black locusts that I've got going on in here. They are very, very hard woods. And when they get wet, it makes them harder. When they freeze, they're even harder. Especially with a new, when I'm cutting still live wood. So, hey, it quit raining and the fog is kind of rolling in a little bit. Well, most of that smoke, but still gray out there. It's going to rain for a little while longer. So right now I'm just kind of sitting in here for fun. I'm going to go out there and get that screwdriver and see about starting to chink all the harder places to do it. That way when I get the regular, just a lot of bags in here, I just go to town. Just start chinking everything. I was going to put little pieces of board in here, but it actually doesn't take a shit ton of chinking to close all this off. Now, the inside will be chinked. Now, later on, probably around springtime, I will have to chink the outside. All this is going to do for the inside of this is to keep a majority of the wind out. Wind and rain, just the majority of it. I don't expect it to 100%. But as long as the fireplace can warm this up, I'll be fine. It'll be fine. The rest of the little stuff can wait till spring. Or if we get some warm days in December, late November into December, which we could. I doubt it in January and February. But if I can get this thing chinked up before the snow really, really flies, get the roof done and it chinked all up, I can come up here and spend a couple of days at a time up here, because I'm going to have to put in my table over here. My trash that is now inside, I've got to make a trash can for it. So I will make one for that. My big blue jug down here, I've been using that for water to make mud. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this board here and I'm going to cut angles on it. I'm going to stick probably somewhere right in the neighborhood of this log right here and that log. Those two logs right there. I'm going to stick a big thick dowel, kind of like the ones that are on here. They don't have to be real big, but at least about an inch around. Stick one in here, put this right here, and I'm going to slap that water jug right on top of there. 5-gallon bucket will go underneath. That way you wash your hands, use it for cooking, whatnot. Right next to it will be the table where you can cook your meals and stuff if you're not going to use the fireplace. I'll have a little camp stove and stuff up here. I've got a couple of shorter logs. I'm going to measure this out. I think it's like 4 foot, maybe 5 foot long. But I don't have to have 5 foot. 4 foot's great. I'm going to cut a thick board for a mantle. Put that there. And then above that, once I get all these holes socked up and then the wood looking all right, I'm going to drill a couple of holes and put some shelves up here for just about anything. And then I'll also put some nails somewhere around up in here and hang my cast iron skillets and stuff around. So, supposed to start getting the wind today, and being up here on the wind is not going to be great because of I don't want a whole tree coming down on me. I know that the cabin will be fine because there's really stable trees around here. Most of them that were unstable, I got out of here. Anything that's unstable is not pointing at the cabin. So I did thin all that stuff out up there. Other than that, we're just going to town here. All I got to do is basically right now, roof and chinking. I got to find another cap rock for that and a couple of bigger, thicker stones. No problem. A little bit of mud. No problem. That's all later on down the road. Roof and chinking. I can fix this. I can just go out and get a bucket of dirt and make mud inside here and do what I need to do in here. I don't have to make the bucket of mud out there. So the water will be warmer. It won't be iced up. So I'll just make the mud in here, and then any mess I can clean up. So yeah, but roof and chinking, and basically this be done. Yeah. So yep. So anyways, and anywho's, yeah, this be me. You know where? Up on the hill. We're just having fun here. Got my little rope here. So when it's dark when I come in, I hang the light from here so I can kind of see. What else is there to do? I don't really know. Roof and chinking. That's all we're getting into now. Right now it's raining. I mean, if it wasn't going to rain a lot of the day, I was thinking because it's already wet and I can't cut anything, I can go get chinking. I go get bag after bag after bag, but I think it's, see, it was light gray. It's getting darker over there. This is the way that the stuff's coming. It's coming out of the west, kind of. I know I didn't point the door is east southeast. This is that wraparound crap that's coming up by the east coast, so it's actually coming up the southern way first. It's coming up from the south. Now tomorrow, that's going to change. It's going to come in from the west and the north, so it'll be on the backside here, over by the chimney. So, and I've positioned this pretty much to where when the wind comes whipping around the backside, there's not a lot to wrap around for where the door's at. Now it's gonna, down on the ground, it might pile up a little bit right there, but I've got enough of the roof hanging over, it shouldn't do that. So my stairs should be fairly clear. I won't have a big drift in front of the door. So, other than that, I think we're doing good. We're doing real good! How good are we doing? We're doing real good! Anyways, I'm going to let y'all go, and I'm going to get into something, probably do some of this chinking, clean the rest of this thing up, get it looking more like a cabin instead of a junk house. I was cleaning yesterday, so because it was pretty, but I wanted to do a little bit of hunting, see if I could get something before the snow flies for the first time. So anyways, this be me, and aren't you glad you're not me, because I'm me and you're unique. So anyways, spirit fingers, see ya.